This is my review on Denzel Washington's take on the Equalizer. So this is based off of an old TV show about this retirement guy who brings justice to uh, the people that deserve to die. I mean, he brings justice. This old guy in the show basically punish those who deserve to be punished and who have done wrong, and will give them a chance to redeem themselves, but often have to, if I'm from ordering my question, he has to execute them, hired by other innocent lives who he's doing it for. In the show, that's the premise of the show, and he called the Equalizer. So this falls to is basically kind of what the first 18 was trying to do. Movie. The first 18 movie was trying to do, not the show. It's trying to make a prequel or adding its own spin on the legend of the awesomeness of the show. And the pacing is perfectly pasted. It has the pacing of the show to 100% throughout the three-act structure, and the same goes for the sequel. And I know I shouldn't be talking about sequel. This is going to confuse people. But yeah, the pacing is really important because in this film, because it takes this time to tell a story, and you start to peel away layers of this guy, and you start to realize that he's not who he says he is. He's hiding something, but we don't know what he's hiding until the very end of the film. And the bad guys start to figure it out who he is, and that he's not really who he says he is. And also, then other people start to figure out, and then when he's time for him to, and he works at this like Home Depot, I think, and when it's time to, uh, the bad guy has all of his friends at Home Depot hostage, so figures it's time to come back. And he gets, but before he does that, he needs to ask his friend for permission if it's okay for him to do this again. Which is like his best friend, who was his partner back in the day when he was doing this. When he was the Equalizer. Of course, back then he worked for a government he worked for the government, and his friend was his partner, communicating him, giving him instructions. But now he feels like he can't run anymore from who he truly is inside. So, and because we see people dying, and he just can't take anymore, so he goes to his friend and asks for permission to if he's okay if he beats the Equalizer again. So she gives him permission, and she says, like, "I can't help you, but yeah, you have my permission. You can I could tell you came all this way to ask for me for permission to do this." So she kicks ass, kills all the bad guys. All of his friends find out that he's a total badass, not just a nice guy, but a total badass. And he then they realize all then the bad guys realize that and everyone finds out he really was everyone finds out that he was hiding something. The fact and that what he's hiding is that he is a badass, and he goes and he continues being the Equalizer, and goes on his daily job and whatever that is, and his daily job now is the Equalizer again. So, and that's when the film really ends. So I really love this film a lot. It captures the spirit to show 100%. Sure, he's not a white guy like like the guy in the show, but I'm sorry, but I don't care because the Equalizer show is one of my favorite shows of all time, and so is this movie. And I feel like this he really truly does not he doesn't embody the physicality of the guy because Denzel Washington's a bit more muscular and looks a little younger than the guy from the show, but he embodies the height of the guy from the show, and his and the desire to want to help and stuff like that. Because and I mean that's my best I can do. I can't remember what show I like more. I think I like the Equalizer show more than Mission Impossible. So I'm glad it's got a better adaptation than what the hell they were trying to do with Mission Impossible. Uh, and I remember I liked the Equalizer show more than the 18 show. Oh, and more than Charlie's Angel show. I just love the show. Is that wrong? But I thought, um, yeah, so that's what I thought on one of the best old school shows adaptation. So I really love this film, and I recommend you watch it. I give it a 10 out of 10 because I got so emotionally invested in Denzel watching this character, and the action is lots of fun to watch, and the story's good, and that's is all good, and especially the pacing of the show. I mean, the movie. So yeah, I recommend this film. I give it a thumbs up.